Hello, Professor Bright here, and welcome back to the Sunless Sea. Now, we have just discovered where Litton might be. He's in Low Barnet, and one thing I noticed while I was checking out my journal real quick. Death hath no more dominion. Find the fierce philanthropist's husband at Low Barnet. Not interesting. What is interesting, it is said that Seven once tried to democratize death. What does that mean? What does that imply? I kind of really need to know. For reasons. Maybe related to me becoming immortal. Possibly. Who knows? Could be. Anyway, I'm gonna be traveling under the Z because, yeah. Just cause. And, ooh, hey. You might be an interesting thing. Obviously headed to Low Barnet. Possibly making a stop at London as well because, I mean, our fuel situation is pretty terrible. Although maybe not. A wreck waits below, a dark shape in dark water. What caused it to sink, and does anything salvageable remain? I mean, of course we're going to retrieve the sunken treasure, it's also our only option here. The cabins of the wreck are intact, something of value may have survived. Okay. You lead a small crew down to the wreck, the lights of your... Okay, this is interesting. The lights of your submarine scratch at the darkness around you. You are recovering salvage. Interesting. What have you found? Could anything of value be survived? Well, probably not. I mean, a lot of things are dangerous down here, but no. Could anything of value have survived? A watery journal. Most of the pages are unreadable, but on the inside of the leather cover, something remains. A departure. We came to Dahut wreck. Wretched. Dear me, my reading. They made us welcome, they bid us join them at their feasts. My boatswain lay with his bride in a field of white flowers, and there I left him. My navigator refused to swim with us, and there I left him. My cabin boy joined the cathedral's choir, his eyes filled with light as his lungs filled with song, and there I left him. I should have stayed. Oh! His eyes filled with light, as his lungs filled with song. I don't know if that's implying that Dahut has something to do with the Dawn Machine and the sinister light, but that is intriguing to me. Now what are you? Nothing. Never mind, just oxygen. I'm very bad about reading this thing. Sorry, it's just, you know, kind of part of who I am, sort of, kind of, almost, not really. I mean, Low Barnet isn't that far away, but, hey. Hey there, Wreck. Oh, this seems like a terrible idea. I mean, the last one I thought was gonna get us into, like, a major event kind of thing, just because of what it said, but, apparently these are relatively common. What waits below? Rescue a survivor. The wreck is recent, and a rhythmic knocking from within indicates someone is alive down there. Got a feeling it's not a person, but what do we got? You assess the wreck. The aft hold contains a dwindling pocket of air. You order a winch lowered, don your diving suit, and take a spare. Struggling through the ruin, you find the survivor gasping through the last of his air. For a frantic few minutes, you assist him into your second suit. His strength is spent. You pull him out. The winch pulls you both back aboard your submarine, which your grateful guest swears he'll never leave. Isn't that lovely? Got another crew, which means I don't need to resupply on crew when I get back to London. Which is delightful, cause I don't want to spend more money than I need to. Just bypass Mountain Island, I think. I think that seems reasonable to me. My brain says that is reasonable. Now, yeah, just keep sending out that little sonar pulse. I mean, we're not going to see anything, really. Also, what is keening? Could someone tell me that? Thank you, future Professor Bright. I hope you have actually told me that, otherwise this is going to be a bit awkward. Hello? What are you so close to home? What am I looking at? 5 torpedo components. Yay. I am into that. Now, I should technically go straight back to London, but I mean, I can just burn some supplies. Plus, I haven't eaten any of the crew yet, and I should do that, you know. For reasons. Why, I shouldn't need to explain to you. I mean, eating people is just beneficial, you know. And I'm being serious, I don't think there was any downside to letting my, hunger build up. My personal hunger, not the crew's. Now, Low Barnet. Actually, I have a few things I need to do here, but first, find the fierce philanthropist's husband. Your source said he could be found here. And who is that in the shadows of the apse? What happened to your face? A verger in coral. Litton stands in a secluded corner. He is inhumanly tall. His lower body is encased in a block of coral that raises him up. Beneath his shirt, his body is lumpen. A tracery of it, lurid and pink, has begun to sprout on his cheek, following the course of his veins. Oh, that's terrible for you. Deliver his wife's locket. He ignores you, intent instead on buffing a smooth shine from the brass. Perhaps a reminder of his past life will help. You hold the locket open for him. Evelyn, he says involuntarily, and looks at you. She sent you. Oh, it was expected that other parties would find me first. He looks down at the gradual encroachment of coral. I cannot return, for her safety as well as the obvious. But I ask that you withhold the full nature of my condition from her. I wouldn't want to cause her further distress. I mean, I could deliver word of her husband, but I'm going to be asking questions because, yeah. Obviously. Ask him about the Seven. We were the Seven against Nida. Soldiers, spies, healers, sailors. We meant to democratize death, to break Nida's hold on immortality, and distribute their hoard of years more evenly. It was a good scheme. Bourdain recruited our legions, Lorenzo charted our path, Eric sailed our troops up the Red River on living ships, Batuk led our armies, Rosina healed our wounds. After our defeat, we were separated. I don't know where the others hide except one, Mariam, who gathered us. She was a princess of the Presbyterate. Look for her deep in Scrimshander in the Stygian repository, where the white bones turn black. He takes a last look at the locket from his wife, then clicks it closed. Give her this, so she knows I sent you. I mean, I love going back to that place, so I'm totally okay with that. What was his role in the Seven? I was their financier. I came from modest means, however my congregation consisted of industrialists, the gentry, bankers, people with an interest in immortality and the willingness to invest. My doctrine was unconventional. Eternal life in this life, not the next. It's a doctrine I'm kind of into. And what became of their endeavor? I mean, the failure is obvious. We came close, we reached Nida, we breached the Persimmon Gate, but reinforcements came, and the wax wind was invoked. We scattered. Each of the Seven found a place to hide in the deeps at a cost. This is mine. He indicates his skirts of coral. Intriguing. So the wax winds are something that can be invoked. They're not a natural phenomenon. Intriguing. We return to Low Barnet. We do have to deliver a wandering parson, of course. He presses close to a porthole as you dock. Low Barnet, he murmurs, the gate to the deeps. A call to worship. You'll hear tales from distant trenches of the Untersee, and some of them might even be true, but the strangest ones are jealously guarded. Light from the dark glints in his eyes, hidden mysteries and pliant listeners. He glances at you, then gathers his luggage. Won't you join me below for a while? An explorer could learn much of value here. Oh, if I actually get into the bell tower, I can discuss it with him. Oh, I see. Interesting, very interesting. So he can actually explain more of the lore for me? Oh, I'm into that. But first, we should... Will exploring the church give me anything? Yes. That was the port report. Obviously useful. And let's trade stories with the congregation. Your appearance and bearing attract attention. They're eager for new tales. Unfortunately, all I have is rack. And I kind of want the extra fuel. But it will increase my storyteller trait, so why not? If nothing else, you could warn them not to visit. You describe a city built from shipwrecks, a colossal tipsy tower lashed together by sentient weed. The weed commands the city's inhabitants to wreck more and build higher. The tower has already broken the surface and is extending toward the cavern roof. Only last week it caught its first dirigible. Not true, but I do feel that that is their ambition. Now, question. Nope, still can't talk with him. I need 4. I suspect if I raise this to 7, then I should actually be able to win. Possibilities and questions. None of which will be answered right now. Let's head out. And up. I said up. Come on. Up, up, up. There's work to be done. Great work. Fantastic work. Potentially. As long as everything goes according to plan, which it probably won't. I'm also going to go to Hunter's Keep, because I'm pretty sure that's the one I didn't go to. There's always a local port that I don't go to, just in the course of, traveling the Z. Oh, and I get to have lunch with one of the sisters. Let's see here. Reconnoiter the island, obviously. And luncheon with Phoebe. Phoebe is soft-voiced, watchful, unpredictable. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks, as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts, out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depth. There's a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there you finished the last of the course. The scowling maid reluctantly served cheese and Beth Oliver biscuits. More supplies, useful. No more hunger, lost some terror, it's all good. Now, back to London, quick as we can, please. Want to resupply, want to think on our next trip. There's a lot of options. I do still need to find polytheme, and you know what? I think I'm going to make that my next goal. Whoops. Thank you. They're going to be bleeding me next. Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, my next goal is going to be finding polytheme, simply because I want that improved engine. And I need to find claymen, bring them back to the sisters along with a mirror catch box, and then I can start working on other parts of that project, shall we say. And, most importantly for my personal use, the Gambit. Some of Clathermont's tattoos are coded messages for spies. Perhaps you have a hidden motive. I do, it's increasing my pages by 2 permanently. Kinda into that. The gold needle pricks. Lily Clathermont hums. Is that butter on the chess knight's head? She shrugs. The ways of the great game are tangled. She doesn't seem to be mocking you. A pop-eyed Pole across the parlor sees your new tattoo, hisses and ducks his head in respect. Curious? Okay. Well, aren't you a thing? Well, give me a moment. Gotta go do business. Oh? Oh, well, aren't you an interesting option? I can peruse my comprehensive port report in private. And that gives me a secret, which is more valuable than anything the Admiralty is going to give me, so doing that. Much to sift through, the Empire of Hands no equal to London, but certainly a power in waiting, a labyrinth of simian complexities. Consider the opportunities. Someone else has also considered the opportunities. You have an invitation. Ah, yes, I do, don't I? Read the morning papers. An invitation to Benthic College. Your travels have caught someone's attention. Benthic College is pleased to invite you to an exclusive and educational evening with Lady Agatha Treadgold, delightful adventuress and raconteuse of thrilling true tales of feist and spunk. On the back is a scribbled note. Come speak to me afterwards, darling. Opportunity beckons. I mean, of course I must attend. Opportunities are always worth exploring, at least. A trip to Benthic. Benthic is the most open-minded of the London colleges. You find yourself waiting for the lecture in a queue of students, devils, and bohemians, observed with some scorn by passers-by in Somerset colours. The delightful adventuress, her feet have trodden lands most in the Neath have never even heard of. Her eyes have seen every opportunity for fame and glory while there. An evening with the delightful adventuress. Whoever she is, she knows how to pack a hall. Not a seat is empty as she takes the stage. The fine cuisine of the Chalet, the darling Clayman, all but a prelude, my dears. Her stories tend towards the fanciful and conveniently unprovable. But the delightful adventuress has the credulous audience spellbound for hours. Many rare tales of monsters and lost cities have a common theme. She visited them ahead of a certain Lady Leonora Fortescue, the quite adorable, daring archaeologist, with whom she sparked a bracing rivalry back at finishing school. The rest are tales, bitter as the sourest grapes, of being cheated of triumphs by the very same Fortescue, whose fanciful fictions are fit only for the penny dreadfuls. By the end, her stories are notably more bitter than boastful. She still receives a standing ovation. A business proposition, the delightful adventuress's masked clayman Barnabas escorts you to the principal of Benthic's study, where she sits sipping brandy by the fire. Ah, my dear Capitano. Firelight glints in her eyes as she raises the glass. I hear you are recently returned from the empire of, monkeys? Hands, yes, of course. It's a rare breed that can make such a voyage. Foolhardy, too, perhaps. She sips her brandy. I wish to charter your no doubt fine vessel to that primitive little island chain. There I shall find what I need to show up the infernal Leonore Fortescue once and for all. And you, the delightful adventuress squints, sizing you up. Sufficient compensation will not be a difficulty. A most mutually beneficial arrangement, you will agree. I might. Except it's a long voyage, but you know the way. That I do. Splendid. The delightful adventuress drains her glass dry. Then we shall see you upon the morrow for the voyage. Barnabas, pack my valise. Adventure awaits. I really do wish I knew how to pronounce that. Valise? Not important at the moment. What is important is I have a new job. Just on top of all the other things I have to do. Ah, dear. I mean, I kind of want to sell this, but on the other hand, well, no, I'm not going to be using it for the Venturer because I'm going to be eventually going to Irem. I can just get the Parabola Linen. That'll be fine. A collector of sorts, the veteran Privy Councillor holds a mirror behind the artifact and examines the reflection. Yes, inferior to London workmanship, obviously, but it will make an acceptable conversation piece nevertheless. He snaps his fingers at his servant. Pay the captain. I'll take that 150. And, yeah, not going to pass on that strategic info, although... yes, I still have to go. Right. Nearly forgot. Still need to go elsewhere. Submit your port reports. And there's a new one. The Edershroom, you spent time in Myceligaya? Dear me, I'm most terribly sorry. Wasn't that bad. I mean... Hold that thought for a moment. Supremacy, that's the one. How close are the... Lo, thy dread empire, chaos is restored, light dies before thy uncreating world. Or word. Okay. I mean, it's a little bit high, but... It probably won't kill everybody? Deliver supplies for the work. Okay, yeah, it's the same stuff as usual. Should have done this before I actually bought supplies, though. Ah, another new thing. Let's see. Ah, something new. A delivery from Issery or an opportunity offered. The scholar drags his tongue over each of the vials. Fresh, quite piquant, look at the color. Oh, yes, perfect. Or I could betray Issery. I mean, I don't want to do that to them. They seem so very violently delightful. So, delivery from Issery. She, hands you an untidy bundle of notes written on what you hope is paper. You're almost certainly imagining how the notes seem to shiver in your grip. Issery will be pleased at least. And there's the scholar's notes. Oh. Okay, I'll be rewarded, but I need 10 free spaces in the cargo hold. That's not going to be an issue. I'm going to burn through tons of fuel and supply. Not a problem. Also, by the way, intriguing snippet. Zesty, this one will do very well shared. Thank you, your payment. And, of course, the extraordinary implications, because I love that money. What a tantalizing crumb, the scent of secrets. I'll place it with the others. One day, I will have enough. Well, this was quite the profitable trip. Also, some interesting little stories. Now, I'm resupplied. In fact, I would dare say, oversupplied. And I'm ready to go to the surface, do a quick little supply run there, head back to hell, buy more fuel, as one does. And then, I don't know. There's so many possibilities. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on surface exploration for a little bit. Just a moment. I know there's much in the deep that I should see, that I want to see, and in fact I do need to make a quick trip to Rosegate to drop off that apprentice. But after that, I mean, I need to find the Claymen, so I can do the thing that gets me the better engine that will make all of this so much easier. But for now, thank you for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly, and I shall see you all soon.